In this series, I aim to give you a quick introduction to some of the plant families found in the UK. Learning to identify plant families is a great help in identifying individual plant species you come across. Plants are classified into families based on characteristics that they share. So, the way to identify a plant's family is to know these characteristic features. Today, we're going to look at the Asteraceae, also known as the daisy family. This is one of the largest plant families in the world, with around 25,000 species of annual, biennial and perennial herbaceous plants, as well as shrubs and a few trees and vines. Members of this family are found pretty much everywhere in the world except Antarctica and the middle of Greenland. The Asteraceae is sometimes still called Compositae, an older name referring to the plant's flowers, which we'll get to soon. Many Asteraceae species are familiar as ornamental plants, like chrysanthemum cultivars, Helianthus annuus, sunflower, Tagetes patula, French marigold, Cosmos bipinnatus, cosmos, Santolina chamaecyparis, cotton lavender, Dimorphotheca eclonus, African daisy, and Echinacea purpurea, purple coneflower. There are several food crops, including Helianthus tuberosus, Jerusalem artichoke, used for its tubers, Lactuca sativa, lettuce, used for its leaves, and Stevia rebaudiana, sweetleaf, whose extracts are used as a sweetener. Inula helenium, elecampane, and Calendula officinalis, pot marigold, are a couple of the species used medicinally, and Tanacetum cinereifolium, pyrethrum, provides a compound used in insecticides. Some, like Biden's pilosa, cobbler's pegs, have become invasive weeds in parts of the world. In the UK, Asteraceae is the largest family, with several hundred species. They're mostly herbaceous, annual, biennial and perennial plants, though there are shrubs too. They include Bellis perennis, daisy, Solidago virgaurea, goldenrod, Hypochaeris radicata, cat's ear, Jacobaea vulgaris, common ragwort, Gnaphalium uliginosum, marsh cudweed, Cirsium arvense, creeping thistle, and the Taraxacum species aggregate, Dandelions. Several of these last are often regarded as weeds, but give them a break. They're part of our natural flora, they're good for pollinating insects, and a lot of them are attractive. I defy you to not be at least a little bit cheered to see your first yellow dandelion in spring. The main identifying feature of this family are its inflorescences, the distinctive, often large, daisy-like flower heads. Anything that looks like a daisy is almost certainly in the Asteraceae. These flower heads are actually made up of dozens of tiny flowers called florets, all arranged on a base called the receptacle. These compound inflorescences are known as capitula, capitulum in the singular. The florets can be bisexual, female, or male. Most species are either hermaphrodite or gynomonoecious, meaning they have both bisexual and female flowers. A few species have separate male and female flowers. Each tiny hermaphrodite floret has 5 petals, 5 stamens, and a style in the middle. But here's where it gets interesting. Asteraceae flowers come in different forms, known as disc florets and ray florets. Disc florets are actinomorphic in symmetry. Ray florets are zygomorphic, much showier than disc florets, and serve to attract pollinators. The majority of Asteraceae species are insect pollinated. In disc florets, the petals are equal and fused into a tube with 5 lobes. In ray florets, the petals are also fused. However, they're fused into a strap shape on one side of the floret. This makes them look as though they have only a single petal. But if you look closely at the tip of this, you will see several tiny teeth. These are the tips of the fused petals. Which type of floret is present depends on the species. Some, like Tanacetum parthenium, feverfew, have both disc and ray florets. The disc florets are the yellow ones packed into the middle, and the ray florets are the white petals around the outside. Other species have only ray florets, like Taraxacum, or only disc florets like Matricaria discoides, pineapple weed. The capitula come in a wide range of colours, though they are frequently yellow. The stamens are attached to the fused petals. The anthers of the stamens are joined into a tube around the style, which branches in two. The stigmas are on these branches. The capitulum is surrounded by protective bracts called phyllaries, known collectively as the involucre. The number, position, and appearance of these phyllaries is often important for identifying individual species. The ovary of the florets is inferior, and each ripens into a dry, one-seeded fruit called an achene or cypsela. You might be wondering what's happened to the calyx, the whorl of sepals around the floret, in all this. Well, the calyx may be absent, but is frequently modified to form a ring of hairs or bristles attached to the fruit, called a pappus. This pappus enables the seeds to be dispersed by the wind. It's what makes the parachutes in dandelion clocks and the fluff in thistle heads. The leaves of Asteraceae are very variable, but are usually either arranged alternately up the stems or in a basal rosette. A few are opposite. They're often simple, undivided, sometimes pinnate, divided into leaflets, and may have entire or lobed margins, sometimes deeply lobed. So remember, if a plant has a capitulum flower head with many tiny florets, with or without a long fused petal, stamens with anthers joined into a tube, a style with two branches, and the capitulum has an involucre of protective bracts beneath it, you have yourself an Asteraceae. Keep an eye out for these three species in your garden or your street. Bellis perennis, daisy, a low-growing herbaceous plant that forms a rosette of spin-shaped leaves and has white ray florets with a centre of yellow disc florets. Senecio vulgaris, groundsel, a herbaceous plant with lobed leaves and small capitula of yellow disc florets, with black-tipped phyllaries and seed heads like mini dandelions. And Cirsium arvense, creeping thistle, a relatively tall herbaceous plant with spiny leaves and lilac capitula of disc florets, with fluffy pappuses on the fruits.